Hi everyone, it's Jack back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Nikola, the electric truck company. Once a really big story, highs of $65, now down 84% after a series of lawsuits. At those highs of $65, the valuation of Nikola was higher than Ford Motor Company. Let that sink in. This is for a company with no sales and basically no orders at that point. Peak mania in the stock markets. Prices came down after a series of bad news and lawsuits. It presents an interesting buying opportunity if it can turn it around, and that is what this video is going to be about, is how Nikola's turnaround is going and whether I think it is a buying opportunity in the future. The catalyst for Nikola's downward spiral initially was a short report from Hindenburg Research that launched an SEC investigation into claims of fraud, and then a year later Trevor Milton, the founder and CEO of Nikola, was indicted for 3 counts of fraud, 2 of them being securities fraud. Crucially, these held Milton culpable, not the company. Essentially, that they claimed that he lied about all manner of things regarding the business. He's no longer the CEO, and the company is in the midst of a turnaround and getting away from these allegations and moving forward. The first positive sign for Nikola's turnaround is they're actually starting to deliver vehicles. The first being the Tre BEV, basically a short-haul cab, up to 350 miles, 753 kilowatt battery pack, 645 horsepower, 120 minutes charge time. These are all attractive metrics. They have a suite of 3 trucks in development. This is the first and only one they have delivered so far, making deliveries at the end of 2021. And this is absolutely huge for Nikola. In my opinion, the delivery of trucks at the end of last year is the first bit of real turnaround news, in my opinion, where it actually matters. Trucks actually getting delivered to a customer. Whether they're good or not is kind of immaterial for the time being. This is a huge W for Nikola, necessary to prove they're not a joke and do have a product. They're not a waste of money essentially buying Nikola stock. They are something. They have a product. Whether it's good or not, time will only tell, but this absolutely must go well for the long-term potential of Nikola stock, in my opinion. So what, in my opinion, is actually bringing Nikola back into the conversation, you've probably seen a few articles about it recently, is this string of letters of intent. So they've signed letters of intent in the past. This most recent letter of intent on January the 5th is an agreement with USA Truck to purchase an initial 10 Nikola Tre BEV trucks with an option for a further 90 over the next 2 years. Again, letter of intent are not purchase orders, but they're an agreement that these companies want to do business together. It's an initial agreement and it's a start. 100 trucks again is not going to turn Nikola into an investable company, but it's a start. They've signed another letter of intent with Covenant Logistics for 50 trucks to be delivered in 2022 and 2023, 10 of those being the Tre BEV and 40 being fuel cell vehicles. Again, extremely important, particularly with the introduction of fuel cell vehicles. These could be a huge win for Nikola in the long term. Again, but these need to be done successfully, delivered on time, and they need to prove that they're a viable product. And finally, the third, just in the first 2 weeks of January, they signed a letter of intent for up to 100 trucks from Sire. First 25 to be delivered in 2022. Again, only a letter of intent, but it's something. So my main concern with Nikola, now they're delivering cars, that's kind of one concern out the door. They're at least a car manufacturing company, they're no longer complete Ford. My problem is they have about $500 million on the balance sheet in cash and $500 million available on the equity line. So that's about $1.1 billion of liquidity at the end of Q3 2021 for a $4 billion market cap company. They will 100% need more cash, more equity offerings. Dilution is highly likely, in my opinion. This was the real hurdle for Tesla, is getting itself cash flow positive so it could actually make cars without jumping into the equity markets. Nikola is a loss-making company. It's going to be a loss-making company for several years, in my opinion. Something investors should definitely be aware of. Stock movements are absolutely crucial for Nikola at the moment. If the stock price rides up a lot, 100% they will be offering some dilution, offering out a share offering to cash in on that. And this is what these early stage EV manufacturers need to do, and is what Nikola will need to do, and it's something investors should 100% be aware of, because there will be dilution, in my opinion. I don't think there's really that much more to say. Nikola is producing cars. It's got several letters of intent. In my opinion, this is now no longer a dead company. It's no longer dead money. This is a company that has potential. There is definitely potential here. Of course, letters of intent are not formal orders. If deliveries actually happen and formal orders come in and are fulfilled, then we can celebrate. But celebrating letters of intent is well premature, in my opinion. At this stage, investing in Nikola seems not much more than a coin flip. Maybe it becomes something, maybe it goes to zero. Who knows? I'm not in the gambling business. That being said, I cannot deny that Nikola has made great progress, and I will be happily proved wrong if Nikola bounces back big time. There's a lot of competition in this space. Hyliion, Arrival, there's a lot of Rivian, a lot of EV manufacturers that could easily jump into the truck space. or are already in the truck space. For me, this is a nearly $4.3 billion business with next to no revenue, and almost certainly that will have to dilute investors at some point, and a history of failures. So I can't really trust Nikola with my money at the minute. That's without even mentioning the incumbents, the Daimlers of this world, these big current manufacturers, which are of course going to be getting into the EV space hard soon. Nikola are kind of in a truck space where there's not much competition at the minute, but of course the incumbents will be flying out of the gates soon. So we'll see. This is firmly in the I don't want to touch it basket. If they get some deliveries done, they get some good reviews on the trucks, they get a lot more orders, then maybe I'll look at it. But this is a $4 billion company with next to no revenue and a long history of failing. So for now, absolutely in the basket of don't touch. But again, happy to be proven wrong. I think I well could be. I'm not entirely betting against them, but if you ask me right now, would I be buying at these prices? No. So with that, I'll end the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're enjoying the content, thanks.